What if Sunset Shimmer did not abandon Princess Celestia? Hello everypony, and yet again, welcome back to My Little Pony What If series. In this episode, and like in every episode, we list the 4 questions. Number 1, what caused Sunset to come back to Celestia after abandoning her? Number 2, what would happen to Sunset and Celestia's relationship? Number 3, what would Sunset continue to do, and what about Twilight? And finally, Number 4, the question we ask in every single one. What would happen to the MLP timeline? Let's answer these questions together as we go deep into My Little Pony. In the first Equestria Girls movie, we start out in the Pony World, and we get a Twilight shipping every single brony rages about. Well, not all of them, but quite a few. Then later that night, Sunset comes from a portal to the human world and nonsense and stuff. Then later that morning, they go and hunt Sunset down, leading Twilight to the boring human world. Next, Twilight searches the school called CHS and learns how to be a human with the help of her friends from Ponyville. But they're humans. Then Twilight is informed of a princess school thingy event. I don't remember, and I don't want to watch an entire movie again. Twilight needs the crown, so she challenges Sunset for the crown, and Twilight and her human friends help get votes for Twilight throughout singing like 2 or 3 songs, I think. After Principal Celestia announces the winner, which is Twilight, Sunset gets mad and threatens to destroy the portal back to Equestria. But Twilight does not give in, and then whoosh, Sunset steals the crown and turns into a weird-looking demon thing. Then she mind controls everyone, especially Twilight's so-called boyfriend. Also, let me tell you, Demon Sunset, you do not look good as a demon. Lastly, Twilight and her friends destroy Sunset, and she is forgiven. Wait, you're going to tell me that she almost got to Equestria to take it over, and you just forgave her just like that? Wow, I wish I had friends like that. Just kidding, I don't, because I'm not a magic-stealing demon. No offense, Sunset.
None taken.
Lastly, they sing a song about getting ready for a school dance. And oh my god, what the heck is that dance, Twilight? We end off with a happy ending, as always. Twilight gets back to Equestria, and she meets Flash one more time until we rid him from MLP for pretty much the rest of the series. And end. What a happy ending. But now with that stuff out of the way, I can finally theorize. How would Sunset not have turned into that evil demon thingy? Well, let's figure out why she got casted out in the first place. As Celestia and some fan fiction animation tell us, she was thrown away because she got impatient, greedy, and selfish. Let me tell you what happened. Sunset went to the forbidden section of the Canterlot Library. She was later discovered by Princess Celestia and her guards while Sunset was reading forbidden knowledge from a book. I don't know exactly what forbidden knowledge it was, but she was reading a book and it was illegal apparently. Celestia got mad and raged on her. Sunset got angry as well, and she abandoned her studies and left to the human world. Sunset later figures out that this new realm was defenseless, and she could basically rule the school, but while staying in the guidelines of the school rules, of course. So she basically became a dictator, but less murderous. But as always, this isn't that old, boring, predictable reality. This is a new one, and in this reality, after the big argument, Celestia forgave Sunset, and they became even closer than they were before. Now with that problem solved, what will Sunset do? She will probably continue her studies, but not just in magic, but in friendship too. She could possibly become friends with Twilight's friends. Speaking of Twilight, what will happen to her? Well, let's just say that she is struggling in school, and without Celestia or unity with her friends, she won't be able to experience friendship. She will still be a book pony with close to little or no friends at all. She will be like Moondancer. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but it's possible. Now, back on Sunset's side, is it possible for her to become the Princess of Friendship instead of Twilight? The answer is yes, very likely. Sunset would have been sent Star Swirl's spell, and she would have become the Alicorn Princess. Lastly, what about the MLP timeline? Well, it would have probably stayed the same, except for the human world probably wouldn't have been discovered until very much later. As well as, instead of it being Twilight, it would be Sunset. Imagine replacing all of the Twilights with Sunset. Also, instead of Tara Strong, it will be Rebecca Short. I think that's how you pronounce the name. If I said it wrong, well, I'm probably going to get bullied in the comments. And she might become the Queen of the Bronies. But what do you think? Would have Sunset accepted Celestia's apology if she sat down and thought it through? What would happen to Twilight and what would happen to the human world? What about the MLP timeline and the IRL Brony community? Tell me in the comments below. I'd love to hear it. Also, comment what you thought of this episode. Make sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell. It really helps me and the channel out a lot. And I'd like other bunnies to see this too. But before we fully end, I have a tiny announcement. As most of you guys know, the new Netflix film My Little Pony, A New Generation came out last Friday on September 24th. So probably for next week, I will do a spoiler review of a movie. So if you haven't, make sure to watch the movie. It's really good. Well, that's it for this week. This is Cappy, signing out. Until next time. Bill Hoof.